if you play basketball, you're going to want to watch this video because as physical therapists, we're going to go over some of the key muscles that are undertrained or overlooked throughout the basketball training process. My name is Dr. Marco Lopez, Doctor of Physical Therapy and Certified Strength and Conditioning Specialist and co-founder of the Basketball Doctors. All right, guys, as basketball offseason is approaching us, the big thing that a lot of people want to do this offseason is to really train and really get their bodies ready for the next upcoming season. And as physical therapists, we see a lot of athletes, we work with a lot of athletes, and we compile the list of couple muscle groups that we've seen people neglect or sometimes undertrain or just overlook overall. And we're going to go over and explain each one to make sure you're able this offseason to really focus on those and really improve your performance and reduce your risk for injury. So our first muscle group that we're going to address is actually going to start at the bottom. So it's our foot and ankle muscles. So the big thing with the foot and ankle muscles is that we have these muscles that run alongside our foot, the bottom, the top, and they help stabilize and absorb force when you hit the ground. So whenever you're running and jumping, first point of contact is your foot. So you need to really get those muscles strong. And when we play basketball, we use these cushioned shoes so they don't really have to work as much. So one big thing I usually tell athletes to really work on is really just going barefoot with some of your exercises. So some of these functional exercises when you're doing your squats, your lunges, your RDLs, or any single leg exercises, just go more barefoot or use minimalist shoes such as the Vivo barefoot shoes, which we love, or any kind of shoe that just allows you to really feel those muscles in the foot. And it's going to be a good time away from those big cushion support shoes as well. The only thing that I don't recommend is you going barefoot to doing your plyometric exercises or playing basketball. So just keep it more for functional. A lot of times we like to just warm up without shoes for our athletes, then put the shoes on for our plyos and take them off if needed to, or just go on your socks for your strengthening exercises. But that's one big key muscle group that really needs to be addressed this off season. All right, guys, the second muscle group that we're really going to address is more that posterior chain. So we already do a lot of anterior chain while playing basketball, meaning using the muscles in the front of the legs, which are our quads. So, every time we're jumping, we have our knees towards our toes. We just use these muscles so much, and that's why a lot of people have issues with the jumper's knee or any of those, patellofemoral issues. We're just using these quads a lot. Basketball is a lot, quad focused. So if we're able to really use more of our posterior chain, meaning our glute muscles or our hamstring muscles, so the muscles in the back of your leg, these are big muscles here. So if we help strengthen these muscles, not only they're going to help create more power, help you with being more explosive, but it also has some injury risk reduction. So the glutes are very powerful in controlling too much internal rotation, so your knee coming in, and we know that sometimes certain movements when our knees comes in, that single leg movements increases the risk for like meniscus, ACL injuries, or patellofemoral issues. So not only helping you be more explosive, but also helping you reduce your risk for injuries. Another thing too is the way it helps reduce risk for injuries too is this co-contraction. So every time you're jumping, running, your quad and the hamstring have to co-contract together. If they don't co-contract together, that's when we start having some issues at the knee joint. So the hamstring and the glutes, they will help stabilize the knee joint. Because if you're too quad dominant, it's going to keep pulling on the anterior structures there. So not only are these glutes, this posterior chain, the glutes and the hamstring going to help you with co-contraction, but like the previous ones that we mentioned, explosiveness, big muscle group, and also help controlling that injury risk reduction through that internal rotation. Another muscle group that gets undertrained, often just trained incorrectly, is the core. So a lot of basketball players that we see say that, I'm doing my sit-ups, my crunches, my front planks, but that's not really enough. So with the core, we want to start doing more functional exercises, standing exercises, breaking it up into kind of three categories I like to do. It's like anti-extension, anti-rotation, and then anti-lateral flexion. So all these areas are going to help provide stiffness in the core while you're resisting these movements. Then after that, we're going to progress it to more functional movements because the core then has to be able to, whenever you're jumping or doing a movement, provide the force from the legs to the upper body. So first we create that stiffness, then we create, these sequences and movements for the core. And when it comes to the core, like we mentioned, the crunches are okay, but we really need to make more functional exercises to really help optimize their performance and reduce your risk for injury as well. All right, guys, the last muscle group it's kind of like a more recent one with all these groin injuries in the NBA and all these groin injuries occurring. and it's just a groin muscle group. So this one, honestly, you don't need to pay too much attention to it, but as long as you do one exercise a week, you should be solid. And that one exercise is the Copenhagen side plank. Studies have shown if you do this, it reduces your risk for these groin strains. And with all these increase of groin injuries, why not just add in one exercise that you could just help reduce your risk for this injury significantly? So that's kind of like the main muscle groups that we want to go over with basketball players in this off season. So to kind of summarize, we have the foot and ankle, start from the ground up. We have the posterior chain, we have the core, and then we have the groin muscles. So if you address, like we mentioned in the videos, you'll have a good off season, help optimize your performance, reduce your risk for injury. And if you guys have any questions regarding how to train these muscles, or if you guys want to work with us online or in person, send us an email. We're happy to help. And if you like this video, share it with friends and family. We are the Basketball Doctors. Let's ball for life.